Zata from Hyperactive Kredi, and Demet Zübeyroğlu is asking the questions. Please welcome Ms. Demet Zübeyroğlu and Mr. Alper Özata to the stage. Please give a big applause for the after the lunch break. Welcome.
Thank you. Teşekkürler. I don't know for what another time I'm taking the stage right now. Well, this is the only way that I can bring myself to prominence. No, I'm just joking. Welcome, welcome, Alper. How many years we've been working for? It's been 4 years, I guess. And the first time you took your initial steps, you were talking about AI and credit rating systems. And I tended to think it was quite bold. Their ambition was quite bold, but now I can see that they have attained great accomplishments. So creating credit algorithms and establishing a new scoring system and going beyond the established credit scoring and ranking systems. Well, these are the steps and actions taken by many startups. In Turkey, we use the banking systems algorithms, but I think you have covered a long mile in that as well. So more transparent or less biased credit scoring system is needed. And when it comes to reaching end users, what kind of steps can be taken by banks? What developments await us in the future? Thank you very much for your remarks, and I'm very happy that you've seen some progress. Well, consumption takes place on a score, so we are already away from traditional systems. So we see that results can be attained by only using big data, and we look at all the criteria that have an impact on the outcome of the application. And banks and credit institutions need to pay attention to certain areas, and customer and addressing the needs of customers, or even the needs constituting a value for the score. And the quality of data is important, and this has an impact on the outcome, but this is not really a thing that has an impact on the decision of the lenders, and it has an impact on the market. The score that takes into account the market will help us address the needs in a prompt fashion. And the quality of data matters as well. Data needs to be associated, and relevant data, they need to be measurable as well for us and for customers as well. Similarly, this does not only contribute to the customers, it has a contribution on the side of the bank lenders, and it has a good impact on the economy as well if decisions are properly made. And we need to teach customers as well about decision-making criteria. Whoever passes this decision, this needs to be taught as well. When you go to the bank and when you physically submit your application, that person processing your application should be able to develop alternative method. The scoring should be transparent and intelligible, and the new limits must be proposed. For example, methods and alternatives must be offered to the customer handing in their applications. And teaching is one thing, but audit is also quite important, and the measurement is helping us measure the risk as well. And the institutions must go through certain audits as well, because this even has an impact on the rates of crime as well. Any lack of measure or precaution may result in huge damage for customers. A consumer whose hospital reports need to be produced on a timely fashion may actually give the impression that the payments have not been made on time. Sometimes even the image or the arbitrary artificial image of the customer in the systems may result in huge damage on the side of customers as well, and the system must be trained a bit more with rigorous audit. I believe that the number of startups like your startup will rise in number. If we are to expand inclusion, we need to reach users who are not within the system already, and users who are outside of the system, they don't have a score, and there must be a way to get them inside. And alternative data sets, for example, I'm basically going off topic a little bit, but how to really enrich data sets, which kind of data you look into, and how you basically evaluate the user. Of course, you're trying to be as wide as possible, but we are asking 42 questions in version 1, and 78 criteria were used, and in version 2 we have over 140 criteria. And imagine us getting a report, and our score is based on our footprint. And I want to take out a loan. I don't really want to deal with the score. Yes, score helps people measure my standing, but 1,300 points I have. I go and submit my application. This is an acceptable score, but the limits are okay and the occupancy rates are okay, but outcome is negative. And maybe the lender and the bank have their own internal systems. You will understand me when I think about it. Financial attributes, for example. Financial attributes may not be included in the score, and my footprint is the only one that's taken into account. And my footprint may have certain problems as well. And if you think about it, on a term of 5 years, I'm outside of the system, and people cannot really access me, and there is no ancillary or assistive systems. So I may have entered the system at the age of 18, another at the age of 50, and they are maybe related with their card using habits, and maybe or a default is the only reason why their entire access is hindered. But in a term of 5 years, people keep on living. They pay for their electricity bills and other utility bills. So it means that there is revenue, but it has not been reflected inside in the score. So we aggregate all the data and entire criteria that have an impact on the decision, and our success rate is 86%. So you're not the party that lends the loan, and alternative structures and banks may collaborate with one another. But what about their approach? Because we're talking about an ecosystem since the early hours of the morning, and there are some banks who are very warm to the idea, but there are also banks who are distant to the idea. And players like you are now in the industry. Well, are you having any challenges? But do you think that better outcomes will be attained? First, we believe in our measurements, and we have a culture of discipline, and we work with a passion, and we arrive at a piece of knowledge by bringing together other pieces of knowledge. And it's a great wind, and it'll help you with that. And you need to take it behind your back. And there were institutions who agreed to our methods, and there were institutions who didn't agreed with our methods. But we trust in the knowledge, and if there's technology, there should be no barriers whatsoever. And the scores and artificial intelligence and the transactions that we do, 5 million active users that we have, it doesn't matter. But over 500,000 sales transactions have been entered, and we did it without taking any information from banks. And 1.2 billion TL is the volume that we attained, and this is the volume that we attained. It's thanks to our own criteria, and it is thanks to our own human resources. And when we notice that there are some banks who do not really agree to our methods, they will lag behind. But those who believe in the knowledge and us working together will be a great source of trust for customers as well. I don't really want to divide those institutions who wanted to work with us and who did hesitate when it comes to collaborating with us. But data is what we do, and how we make sense of it is also one of our priority areas. And this also helps us establish trust. And we have completed our first phase. We have reached millions of quantities in sales and artificial intelligence. We made it, we offered it free of charge, and settlement and clearing is also going to be another area for us. And we have deployed our application, and we're together with our partners. So quite affordable insurances and settlement transactions are also going to be offered. And you also have some steps towards globalization. Would you like to talk about that as well? Well, the company is quite crowded. We have completed the investments, and we will make an announcement tomorrow at the latest. And our dreams are about United States uh, of America, and all the participants in this room and all those people on the other end of the world, we want to make their decision-making processes easier. So it doesn't really matter where they are. But scores are really of great importance in the States. People are, more and more people are homeless, and they're unable to even carry the cost of their healthcare. They are unable to rent houses. They cannot access healthcare services. They can't find jobs, and they can't open bank accounts. So that situation has become quite visible, and SCORE was the underlying reason behind it. And in Turkey and in other parts of the world, we want to give a new direction to how the scoring is made. Thank you very much. I wish you success.